Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's up? Welcome. All right. If you are catching this on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay so that I know that you were here. And if you are catching this on the replay, you can skip ahead to about the minute to the minute and a half to 2 minute mark to get to the content. All right. When you jump on, let me know who you are and where you're from so I can shout you out and say hello after the broadcast. And while you are jumping on, I'm going to be sharing this out to a few of my favorite spots, and I encourage you to do the same. Let's see how my phone operating skills is is doing this morning. Hey, Lorbell, what's going on? All right. Let me see what's going on. I know one thing. I tried to use one of those, what do you call one of those things like at the end of the pen? Y'all know what I'm talking about. These little things, right? That you're supposed to be, that does not work well on this phone. So I don't know what's going on with that. That kind of, I don't know. Anywho, moving on. Okay. Let me hush so I can get this thing going on and get down to the content. Okay. Oh, I had a moment of duh. Sorry. Oops. Okay. All right. Awesome sauce. I do believe that does it. Yep. Awesome. Okay. So let's get started with the housekeeping announcements, and then we will get down with the content. Okay. So March 15th is the next major deadline that is coming up. That is the filing deadline for S Corps and partnerships. The failure to file penalty for S Corps is $195 a month, and for partnerships it's $200 a month. So by March 15th, you must either file your taxes or file an extension in order to avoid that penalty. Then April 15th is tax day. All right. You must file an extension or file your taxes by April 15th. If you have a tax liability, April 15th is the deadline for filing. And if you have to file an extension, it's for filing the paperwork, not for paying your taxes. So if you have a tax liability and you know it, you want to send something with that extension because the penalties and interest are based on what you owe. So you want to try to reduce that amount. Even if you have a tax liability that you cannot pay, you still need to file your taxes because in order for the IRS to even work with you, you must file all of your taxes. So do it now and then get some stuff worked out with the IRS. Also, if you have estimated tax payments, your Q1 estimated tax payments are due on April 15th as well, okay? And then your Q2 estimated tax payment is due on June 15th. I told y'all, if you got estimated tax payments, you're going to be writing the most checks the first 6 months of the year. That's what you just writing or paying online. However you do it, you get the picture, all right? So also, I want to invite you to the Ecom Seller Summit that is coming up on March 12th through the 14th. If you want to know about e-commerce, want to learn some of the greatest people in the industry, that's where you need to be. I forgot to put the link in the description, but I'll do that after the broadcast. All right. It is a free summit, so you definitely want to take part in this if you are in the e-commerce space or trying to get into the e-commerce space. That's where you want to be. All right, so that is it for the housekeeping announcements. Let me get our intro out the way, and then we will get this show on the road. Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. All right, so today I really want to talk about mindset. I got an email from one of my clients who is in the network marketing space. And she is building a team. And one of the things that she asked me is, she was saying, hey, I'm talking to people about you, but, they're saying, they want to stick with, this person that costs less. Okay. So I'm like, you know what? And basically she was asking, how do I really convey the value of working with you versus working with someone else? And I thought that was a fair question, but it goes to mindset. See, our problem is, and that as a society, we value cure over prevention. Okay. And we have to shift that. We see that when it comes down to managing our health. We don't want to go to the doctor, all of that. But the moment somebody gets sick, then we got to go to the ER, and then we complain about the medical bills, when if you had gotten physicals, right, you might have been able to prevent something that happened to you, right? We look at purchasing insurance. We don't want that expense because we look at the odds of something happening, but holy cow, when something happens and then you need insurance and then you have no money, then you want to cry about, oh my gosh, I don't have money for this. When if you would have done the preventative thing, whether it's health insurance, car insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance, whatever, right? We feel like, okay, what are the odds of something happening to us? And then when you get elected for that catastrophe, then you want to really cry about how much it costs to repair or replace whatever it is that's damaged. And the same type of attitude, where you have that attitude in one place, you have it everywhere, to include finances. And it's not just taxes. It's taxes, it's tax planning, it's financial advisors, all of these things that you feel like, you got all day to do, but in truth, you don't. And then you want to cry and complain. So when it comes down to dealing with tax professionals, a lot of times what happens is that, you know what? We get caught up, number one, in the price. Why do I have to pay you to talk to me about my taxes? Well, again, it's the prevention. Because see, what I'm telling you, you paid $200 for a consult. If what I'm going to tell you is going to save you, $120,000 over 10 years, that might be a wise investment. But see, what happens is, because you value cure over prevention and you don't pay for said prevention, then when you start getting letters and stuff from the IRS because you jacked up your taxes, or somebody, you went to Ray Ray's Chop Shop to get your taxes done and they screwed it up, then you want to come to someone like me and say, hey, I need this fixed and I have no money. Oops. And so then you think it's my responsibility, and I say I mean me and people like me. You think it's our responsibility to help you for free because you have no money. That's not how this works. It's just like when you go to the doctor has taken an oath of, above all else, do no harm or something like that. So they keep you from dying, because that's the oath that they swore. Tax people and finance professionals, we did not take such an oath. And believe me, and those bills that you don't pay because you didn't get the proper insurance, or any insurance, for that matter, then that cost gets passed on to someone else. And you think you should just get to go home and not have to worry about it anymore. No, that's not how this works. Because all of those doctors and nurses and everything that you expect to be there to help you, they got families to feed too. And so when you don't take the necessary precautions and, to try to help yourself as best you can, and then you think it's supposed to be us that's supposed to come and fix it just because, no. If you take the time to learn from your professionals, the professionals in your life, when you invest in what they've paid thousands. Listen, we pay thousands and thousands upon thousands of dollars to learn what we know in order to be able to help you. So why is it that we should go broke trying to help you be rich? And the other thing that I've heard that drives me absolutely bonkers is when I hear someone said, and has been said to me, why should I let you get rich off of me? Baby, we ain't getting rich off of you. We're trying to do our job to help you grow wealth. And in return for that, you pay us so that we could also grow our wealth and be able to invest in more knowledge to come back and give you to help you continue to grow your wealth. So it's not just you, but other people like you. So you continue to go to, get your Google and YouTube University education when it comes down to your taxes. Go ahead. Some of my home business owners, you done read Sandy Botkin's book and think you an expert in your home business taxes. Okay. Some of you have taken some other little course and think, holy cow, I can do this myself. Okay. Knock yourself out. But just know that when you screw it up and you get the letters coming from the IRS, it's going to cost you more to get that fixed than it was for that $200, $300 an hour consult that you would have paid if you had only listened. So I don't try to convince anybody to work with me or people like me. I don't do that at all. Because the time I'm trying to convince you, I can be talking to somebody else that sees the value in what we offer. You want to complain about wealthy people? Wealthy people pay consults. That's how they get more money. They go to professionals to get their stuff, their finances taken care of. That's what wealthy people do. And just for the record, not everybody that started off that is wealthy now started off that way. They invested in professionals to tell them what to do with their money. And I'll never forget, I was at a job, right? And the owner of the president of that location, nice guy. He came and sat down with me at lunch because I was the new girl. And all of these people, he knows everybody that works at this location. And we're talking about 1,000 people. He knows everybody. You wouldn't even known he was the owner of the company if you didn't know he was the owner of the company. Okay. So anyway, so he came and sat down with me and he was like, what's going on with you and whatever, and then we started talking about money. And he said, listen, this is the number to my finance guy. He's like, I know you don't have a lot of money and that's okay. Go talk to him anyway. He will help you. And that's what I did. And believe me, I felt very weird because this man was a multimillionaire and he's telling me to go talk to his guy. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't afford this guy. He said, go talk to him. And I did. And he's like, you need to do X, Y, Z with your money. And he knew I didn't have no money. And he actually didn't even charge me. But I remember him. And so, I was also willing to pay him whatever he would have said, I would have done it. But he didn't charge me. He said, hey, Phil called me and I got you. So you got to be willing to go talk to people. But you also have to be willing to invest. Invest in the prevention. Because see, on the flip side, let's talk about what that looks like. So you go to somebody, hey, we don't charge you $100 to do these taxes and they jack up your stuff. And you're not going to find out about it until, a year or two later when the return gets audited. You done got some jacked up stuff. They done put some dependents on your tax return. They done filed you some false and fraudulent expenses. And all of a sudden you got all this money you got to pay back. And so then you come to somebody like me, holy cow, how do I fix this? Well, if you had invested in a good tax professional on the front end, you wouldn't have to be paying $2,500, $4,000 for tax representation on the back end. And yes, tax representation costs. The cheapest retainer I have heard of is $2,500, but it goes up from there. So listen, you've got to shift your mindset about this. You have to do that. You have to value prevention more than you value the cure. Because when you invest in prevention, it's going to be less. When you got to pay for cure, it's going to cost you more. You think about that with your health. Going to the doctor, going to get a physical is cheaper than going to the ER. When you got your arteries clogged and all that stuff, if you're going to get a physical, you'd find out a long time ago, hey, you're on the path to something crazy, so you need to change your eating habits, right? This is what I'm talking about. But, don't listen to me. Wait for it to happen. Okay, so just, learn to value prevention. It's better if you don't get sick than getting sick and having to fix it. It's better if you invest in your finance professionals up front to make more money on the back end instead of having to pay attorneys and stuff to fix it on the back end. Okay, so you make your own decision. But I'm telling you, that's what you need to do. Okay? So listen, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And if you have not scheduled your complimentary consult right there, you can do it at homebiztaxchat.com. All right? Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.